What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk to you about Beyond Meat. I want to go over some of the data points, break it down on what's really moving it, and go over everything else that you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So Beyond Meat is down 12.69%, 142 the low, 154 the high, and 43.2 million shares being traded. 320 is the average. So today is going to be a fairly low volume day. One thing that is causing all of this pain is this right here. So Beyond Meat reschedules reporting of its Q3 2025 financial results to November 11th, 2025. So in case you didn't know, they were supposed to put out their earnings this week. And generally any stock kind of pushing back their earnings this short of a time frame is always seen as a very big red flag. One thing that they do allude to is that they put out an 8K on October the 24th, which technically did cause it to go down. They pulled it off like a band-aid, so they put out all their kind of early estimates for their earnings, which of course weren't great. And this is why, again, it did kind of cause the damage the following day. But one thing that they did allude to on this 8K was a very large non-cash impairment charge. And in here, it's clearly associated to that. And it's part of their long-lived assets, so it is fair to assume that it is their facility. So most likely, if we're reading between the lines, their facility, they're having a hard time putting a approximate value on it because most likely it's deteriorated more than what they previously did think. Again, you're going to have a lot of people out there saying that this isn't that big of a deal. I definitely do think that it is a big deal. I think even up to this date, they've been really struggling operationally. And because of this recent hype, you have a lot of people out there really trying to pump it up. And I think at the end of the day, people are doing that is because they're stuck. A lot of people did buy in at the $2, $3, $4 range, thinking it was going to go to the moon, $50, $100, and now they're just trying to hype it up to get to kind of break even. That's just how I interpret. The company itself also did think that this was a very big red flag because whenever you see a company putting out two PRs, usually one is meant to mask this. So they did also put out this news this morning. So Beyond Meat introduces new value pack of its latest Beyond Beef at retailers across Canada. So this isn't great news whatsoever. It is what it is. But this is the best that the company could try to conjure up in kind of, I guess, last minute notice to mask, again, this very big negative. So let me know your viewpoint on that. Like I said, I think a lot of people are going to be really saying that this isn't that big of a deal, but it definitely does signal that there is some skeletons in their closet. So that's just my opinion, of course. And I think given the circumstances of who really covers Beyond Meat, I feel like I'm the most fair. A lot of people, like I said, just really want to pump this stock up and say, hey, you know what, this is going to go back to $8, $100 or whatever. Definitely, I think operationally, this company is like not doing good whatsoever. Like hype wise and momentum, you could have a nice run down the line, possibly maybe even because of this upcoming November 11th now earnings. But operationally, I don't think that this company is doing well whatsoever, and this is a pretty good indication of that. Even at the time of doing this video, of that, well, what did we have right over here? 43 million shares being traded. Shorts are increasing 3.36. So definitely shorts are making up for a good chunk of the volume. 24.98% of the free floats being shorted, works out to be 89.25 million shares overall being shorted. That's also another debate, is that recent kind of bump up in the outstanding share count, whether that is supposed to be registered or not. Even in my last video, I had a lot of people technically saying, hey, this isn't correct because like the true outstanding share count is 63 or whatever it was million. Technically, I think that issuance doesn't need to be registered. It was already kind of included in their previous announcement. So I do believe that this is the correct short interest. Still, I think 24.98% is sufficient. We've seen it spike in the past and squeeze back in 2019, 2020, 2021 when it was at like 12%. So I think 24.98% is sufficient. That's, again, if you believe in or wanting it to be a squeeze play. Looking at the options for today, right now you're seeing 1.36 million in calls, 4.7 in puts, and then 62% of all the options being done are bearish in nature. Coming from a bull's standpoint, you'd see a consensus for it to be between that 150 and 2. So optimism has definitely gone down the drain massively. And then the bears are anticipating for it to be sub $1. So not all that great, of course. With it right now at 143, it is below all the key fib levels. Just looking at the classic, so 134 is going to be, I guess, the next strong support. And then 151, 158 is going to be the next strong target / resistance points. So I think just generally, even leading up to this point, like the momentum has really flopped and it went to a lot of other different plays. And for a momentum stock, you need a constant amount of capital to keep getting in. If not, you're going to be pretty much going down in general. So I think Beyond Meat, it was kind of fighting its way higher, but with this news, I think anyone who did get in operationally or wanted to get in because of the fundamentals, I think this is definitely a big slap in the face. So let me know your viewpoint on that in the comments below. Aside from all of that fun stuff, quickly popping over here on the technicals, like you have the stochastic RSI neutral, so it's not really overbought nor oversold, which is kind of crazy, the fact that how much it's actually fallen and it's not really considered kind of oversold. But on the chart itself, there's not really anything positive to bring up. So potentially you might see a little bit more of a push higher, but you do see both the 10 and 50-day moving averages kind of converging right now. So that's going to act as extremely strong resistance, and that's roughly around that 220 range. So even let's say things do help and really move higher from here, which I don't see that happening most likely, then you're still going to be stuck at that very strong resistance. So I do feel that Beyond Meat right now, given the circumstances, is going to continue to move a little bit lower, potentially with their earnings. Again, now the bar being set even lower for their earnings, maybe that might be an opportunity to really move higher, but now that's pushed to next week. So not the best. Let me know your thoughts on Beyond Meat. Do you think I'm too difficult or kind of harsh on it, or do you think it's fair? Like I've stated in the past, I'm not here to get you to buy, nor am I here to get you to sell. It doesn't really make a difference to me. All I'm doing is interpreting the data, which largely I've been fairly good at, especially with Beyond Meat. So in case you kind of didn't miss, or you missed my first video, when it was at 65 cents, called it all the way up, and then same thing, called all of it all the way down. This last weekend, my video, I think I was the most optimistic that I've been since it started to spike. And that's just because of their earnings and how just Wall Street thinks very, very little of them. But clearly there's the company's not doing itself any favors by pushing it back. So let me know your viewpoint. But one final thing, pop over to my Patreon if you're looking for some solid buy signals on stocks, options, crypto. Put out daily day trades, numerous swing trades. Worthwhile to pop over there and check that out. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.